5 passengers were riding a night bus, and none of them remembered where they got on. The route was listed as a regular intercity line through the Urals, but not one of them could name their stop. They tried to remember. Each started a sentence and then went silent. The words seemed to break apart in their minds. The bus was quiet and too clean. The windows reflected only darkness. There were no lights outside, no road, only a black void without depth. The 5 sat in different rows. A man in a business coat, a girl with a backpack, an elderly woman in a grey scarf, a teenager wearing headphones, and the driver, who never turned around. The man spoke first. He asked about the next stop. No one answered, not even the driver. The girl tried to open her phone. The screen showed only the time, 2:17, and it did not change. They started to realize something was wrong. Later, it was discovered that the bus was assigned to a route that did not exist. The route number could not be found in any schedule. But inside the bus, there was a sign with that number. The passengers began talking to each other. They tried to reconstruct what had happened before. Each of them remembered only one thing: waiting, cold, and headlights in the distance. The elderly woman said she had promised someone to return before midnight, but she could not remember who. The teenager kept saying he needed to get home, but did not know the address. The girl noticed something strange. There were no mirrors inside the bus, not even above the driver. But sometimes reflections appeared in the windows, and they did not match the passengers. Once, she saw herself, but in the reflection, she was sitting in a different row and looking straight at her. The man found a ticket in his pocket. It had no date, no destination, only one line: next stop, final. After that, the bus began to slow down, but outside the windows, there was still nothing. Then they heard a voice. The voice came from the speaker above the door. It was calm and flat. It said, "Stop, exit one at a time." The doors opened, but there was no road outside, only thick darkness. The elderly woman stood up first. She said she remembered. She said someone was waiting for her, and she stepped out. Her silhouette vanished instantly, without a sound, without a trace. The others froze. The teenager panicked. He tried to open the back door, but it would not move. The man walked toward the driver. He touched his shoulder and pulled his hand back sharply. The driver did not move. His face was still, like a mannequin. Then the girl looked at the window again. Now the reflections were clear, but there were more than 5 people inside. Some stood in the aisle. Some were staring directly at her. The voice spoke again. Next. The teenager suddenly went quiet. He stood up and walked to the door, as if someone had called his name. He stepped out without looking back. After that, the bus started moving again. But the speed increased, too fast for a road that was not there. The girl understood that the line was not over. This story became known after a transport archive review. One bus had indeed disappeared in the Urals in the early 2000s. The driver and 4 passengers were never found. Later, a strange recording was discovered. It was captured by a technician monitoring radio frequencies. On the tape, the same voice could be heard. It was announcing stops, over and over again. At the end of the recording, there were 5 names. 4 matched the missing passengers. The 5th name appeared later, the girl with the backpack. Her identity was confirmed years after. She disappeared in another city. But the strangest part was this: she had never purchased a ticket. Since then, Similar cases have appeared from time to time. People board night buses, and then they are never found. Sometimes tickets are discovered, without dates, without routes, and always with the same line. Next stop, final. If someone ever offers you a ride on an empty night bus, will you check where it is going? And more importantly, are you sure you will remember where you got on? Subscribe if you want to hear more stories like this. Some of them may be closer than they seem.